Vertical integration strategies. A vertically integrated firm is one that performs value chain activities along more than one stage of an industry's overall value chain. Vertical integration extends a firm's competitive and operating scope within the same industry. It involves expanding the firm's range of value chain activities backward into the source of supply and/or forward toward the end users. Vertical integration is a strategy whereby a company owns or controls its suppliers, distributors, or retail locations to control its value or supply chain. Vertical integration benefits companies by allowing them to control the processes, reduce the cost, and improve efficiencies. However, vertical integration has disadvantages, including the significant amount of a capital investment required. Netflix is a prime example of a vertical integration. The company started as a DVD rental business before moving into online streaming of films and movies licensed from major studios. Then, Netflix executives realized they could improve their margins by producing their own original content. Today, Netflix uses its distribution model to promote its original content alongside programming licensed from studios. Backward integration involves performing industry value chain activities previously performed by supplier or other enterprise engaged in early stage of the industry's value chain. Meanwhile, forward integration involves performing industry value chain activities closer to the end user. So, we can easily understand it through this chart or illustration. So, kapag backward integration siya, it is from raw materials, intermediate goods, and to the manufacturing. Whereas, if it is forward integration from manufacturing, marketing, sales, after sales service, so meaning from manufacturing until the end users. That is what we call the backward integration. The advantages of a vertical integration strategy. So the two best reasons for investing company resources in a vertical integration are to strengthen the firm's competitive position and to boost profitability. Vertical integration has no real payoff unless it produces sufficient cost saving to justify the extra investment, adds materially to a company's technological and competitive strength, or help differentiate the company's product offering. For backward integration to be viable and profitable strategy, a company must be able to achieve the same scale economies as outside supplier, and second, match or beat supplier's production efficiency with no decline in the quality. But that said, there are still occasions when a company can improve its cost position and competitiveness by performing a broader range of value chain activities in-house rather than having these activities performed by outside suppliers. The best potential for being able to reduce cost via a backward integration strategy exists in a situation where suppliers have a very large profit margin, where the item being supplied is a major cost component, and where the requisite technological skills are easily mastered or acquired. Backward vertical integration can produce a differentiation-based competitive advantage when performing activities internally to a better quality product services offering, improves the caliber of a customer service, or in other ways, enhance the performance of a final product. Other potential advantage of backward integration include sparing a company the uncertainty of being dependent on supplier for a crucial component of support service and lessening a company's vulnerability to powerful supplier inclined to raise prices at every opportunities. Apple recently decided to integrate backward into producing its own chip for iPhones, chiefly because chips are a major cost component, have a big profit margin, and in-house production would help protect Apple's proprietary iPhone technology. Integrating forward to enhance competitiveness. Integration into forward stages of the industry value chain allow manufacturers to gain better access to the end users, improve market visibility, and include the end user's purchasing experience as a differentiating features. In many industries, independent sales agents, wholesalers, and retailers handle competing brands at the same product and have no allegiance to any one company's brand. They tend to push whatever offers the biggest profit. Let's now find out what are the disadvantages of vertical integration. The most serious drawbacks to vertical integrations are the following. First, vertical integration increases a firm's capital investment in the industry. So as what I have mentioned earlier, the capital requirement here is way too high and costly. Second, integrating into more industry value chain segment increases business risk if the industry growth and profitability sour. Third, vertically integrated companies are often slow to embrace technological advances or more efficient production methods when they are saddled with older technology facilities. Next, integrating backward potentially result in less flexibility in accommodating shifting buyer preferences when a new product design doesn't include parts and components that the company makes in-house. Next, vertical integration poses all kinds of capacity matching problem. In motor vehicle manufacturing, for example, the most efficient scale of operation for making axles is different from the most economic value for radiator, and different yet again for both engines and transmission. Consequently, integrating across several production stages in ways that achieve the lowest feasible cost can be a monumental challenge. Integration forward or backward often requires the development of a new skills and business capabilities. Parts and components manufacturing, assembly operation, wholesale distribution and retailing, and direct sales via the internet are different business with different key factors. Okay, under topic 5, we have outsourcing strategies. Narrowing the scope of operation. Here, we will understand the condition that favor farming out certain value chain activities to outside parties. Outsourcing involves contracting out a certain value chain activity to outside specialists and strategic allies. Outsourcing forgoes to attempt to perform certain activities internally and instead farm them out to outside specialists and strategic allies. Outsourcing makes strategic sense whenever, first, an activity can be performed better or more cheaply by outside specialists. A company should generally not perform any value chain activity internally that can be performed more efficiently or effectively by outsiders. The chief exception is when a particular activity is strategically crucial and internal control over the activity is deemed essential. Next, the activity is not crucial to the firm's ability to achieve sustainable competitive advantage and won't hollow out its capabilities, core competencies, or technical know-how. Outsourcing of support activity such as maintenance service, data processing, and data storage French benefit management, and website operation has become common. Colgate, for instance, has been able to reduce its information technology operational cost by 10% per year through outsourcing agreement with IBM. Next, it improves organizational flexibility and speed time to market. Outsourcing gives a company the flexibility to switch suppliers in the event that its present suppliers falls behind competing suppliers. Next, it reduces the company's risk exposure to changing technology and or buyer preferences. When a company outsources certain parts, components, and services, its supplier must bear the burden of incorporating state-of-the-art technologies and or undertaking redesign and upgrade to accommodate the company's plans to introduce next-generation products. It allows the company to concentrate on its core business, leverage its key resources and core competencies, and do even better what it already does best. A company is better able to develop its own competitively valuable competencies and capabilities when it concentrates its full resources and energy in performing those activities. Nike, for example, devotes its energy to designing, marketing, and distributing athletic footwear, sports apparel, and sports equipment while outsourcing the manufacture of all its products to some 600 contract factories in 46 countries. So in our company, we decided to outsource the labor and planning of establishment of the new villas and buildings because we find out that it is more effective and less expensive. Though meron din kaming sariling PMD or Project Management Development and Engineering Department, mas better pa rin na to outsource it with the other parties who are much more specialized with that area. The bigger danger of outsourcing is that a company will farm out the wrong types of activities and thereby hollow out its own capabilities. In such cases, a company loses touch with the very activities and expertise that over the long run determine its success. But most companies are alert to this danger and take action to protect against being held hostage by the outside suppliers. So, ito lang nga yung magiging problema nito. So, just like in our company, kapag may nakita kaming mali, sabihin ng PMD department, uy, hindi kami gumawa niyan. But then again, it is also their duty na to monitor the progress of the development doing by the outside supplier. Kasi, in the end, sila din naman yung hahanapan or sila din naman yung tatanungin. Next, we have strategic alliances and partnership. Companies in all types of industry have elected to form strategic alliances and partnership to complement their accumulation of resources and capabilities and strengthen their competitiveness in domestic and international market. A strategic alliance is a formal agreement between two or more separate companies in which there is strategically relevant collaboration of some sort. Joint contribution of resources, shared risk and shared control, and mutual dependence. When we say joint venture, it is a type of a strategic alliance that involves the establishment of an independent corporate entity that is jointly owned and controlled by the two partners. A joint venture is a partnership involving the establishment of independent corporate entity that is jointly owned and controlled by two or more companies. Since joint venture involve setting up mutually owned business, they tend to be more durable, but also riskier than the other arrangement. The most common reason companies enter into strategic alliances are to expedite the development of promising new technologies or products, to overcome deficits in their own technical and manufacturing expertise, to bring together the personnel and expertise needed to create desirable new skill sets and capabilities, to improve supply chain efficiency, to gain economies of scale in the production and marketing, and to acquire or improve market access through joint marketing agreement. Because of the varied benefit of strategic alliances, many large corporations have become involved in 30 to 50 alliances, and a number have formed hundreds of alliances. Alliances are more likely to be long-lasting when they involve collaboration with partners that do not compete directly, as trusting relationship has been established and both parties conclude that continued collaboration is their mutual interest, perhaps because new opportunities for learning are emerging. Field strategic alliances and corporate cooperative partnership. The high divorce rate among strategic allies has several causes, the most common of which are diverging objectives and priorities, an inability to work well together, changing conditions that make the purpose of the alliance obsolete, the emergence of more attractive technological paths, marketplace, rivalry between one or more allies. Strategic dangers of relying in alliances for essential resources and capabilities. The Achilles heel of the alliances or cooperative strategies is becoming dependent on the other companies for several expertise and capabilities. To be a market leader, a company must ultimately develop its own resources and capabilities in areas where internal strategic control is pivotal to protecting its competitiveness and building competitive advantage. So that would be the end of my report, and thank you for listening. Keep safe, guys.